Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be making one card using the die set called Happy Plant. Now it has a number of dies to make different leaves. As you can see here, I've die cut out quite a lot of them already. But I'll just set them out here to the side so you can see some options and kind of see what we're working with. So the face can go on the plant or not, it's up to you. At first I thought this one was a leaf die, but I look at it now and I see that it is the mouth, of course. So I decided not to put the face on this one because I had an extra flower from the card kit left over, and I thought that that would be kind of cute to put on the plant as like a decoration of the pot. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of now, and all of the pattern paper I'm using here is from the card kit, and I just wanted to make a little bit of a layered look for the back of my planter. Now to make the planter itself, I have a few dies here that I'm going to layer on. I'm going to make my planter first and then put the whole kit and caboodle onto the card. So I'm just going to set that off to the side for just a couple minutes here and assemble my planter. So I die cut out the planter stand with silver mirrored cardstock just because I wanted to have some of that shiny look kind of come out as if it was some metal planter. And anytime I use liquid glue on the mirrored cardstock, I am just a little more cautious because it does take a little bit longer to dry on the mirrored cardstock just because it's slippery. Way more slippery than regular paper. Now this little die goes on the bottom just as a kind of textured part of the base of the plant. Okay, so as I was trying to adjust that, I accidentally ripped the top of the pot off. So I just have a piece of craft tape now on the back that is just securing it together, which is just fine, it works out. So now this part goes on here as kind of the planter area. I don't think it really will be seen that much when I am finished putting my leaves and things in, but I'm putting it on anyway, and I'm just trusting the process. I'm going to add this little flower onto the front of the pot just as a simple decoration. It's funny, I planned to do that, and when I was making cards, the card kit, I was wondering where's the second pink flower, because I was hoping to use it on a card, and then I realized here it is. Now I'm going to put the pot on my card now, but I am not going to glue on the top here because I want my planter to be able to have its blooms coming out, if you will. I want to have a sentiment kind of over here, so I'm going to kind of justify my plant off on the side here. So I'm just going to kind of rest it on and see if I can just kind of sneak in my leaves and not glue down anything quite yet. I wanted to make a pot that was kind of like a little cluster of different kinds of leaves and not something that is just like one fern or one type of plant. Kind of have it be like a little mixture. So I really don't think I'm going to be using all of these die cut pieces, but that is okay with me. I have options now. I think I'm going to put this one kind of going down in the hole like that. Okay. And this one just kind of going off to the side. You know, I'm going to use this one, these two, and I'm going to pull out a green Copic marker and just add some green to it, just so it has a different color without having to die cut more pieces. So I'm just going to quick add a little bit of color. I'm going to use YG95. Oh yeah. I love doing that because it is so easy to die cut out white shapes and kind of do batch die cutting and then add color to your white die pieces and just make something like really quickly and have it be all sorts of colors and exactly the color you want without having to sit there and pull out different colored cardstock and fuss around with just the right shade and cut out a bunch of different papers. Just make your own colors with markers. I'm also going to do that with this one, G14, apple green. Let's just see what that looks like. Oh yeah, nice and bright. Now I'm going to mix these two together. I'm going to use apple green on these, and then I'm going to also pull in that last color I used, which was YG95, just to kind of mix it up, but have it still coordinate. Because I only have one of those little sprigs, this one, that is lighter, and I don't want these two to match since they're probably not the same plant. And I don't want it to match that one either because, again, probably not the same plant. Okay. Let's just see. Maybe I'll move those over, these darker ones. Definitely have a green blob on that one, so I'm going to try to put something in front of it. But plants are not perfect. There are all sorts of imperfections in them, so maybe it's just fine. To secure all of those pieces together, I'm going to use kind of a little bit of a trick here. I'm going to use some craft tape again. I'm just kind of getting the stick off of the piece of craft tape that I have just by ripping it on and off of the shirt that I'm wearing right now and just kind of sticking it on my hands, just getting that stick kind of off as much as I can. So I don't want it to stick to my pieces and rip any of these little details, but I do want it to stay in place so I can glue on the back. And depending on how it looks when I flip it over, I might even just tape the back. Let's just carefully flip it over. That worked out very well. And I'm going to use tape because you don't see it. And why fuss around with glue when you can just tape it? It's kind of works. And it's yellow, so I don't think any will pop out, but if it does, it's just yellow tape, you know. There we go. All right, let's see what it looks like in the front. Still the same, perfect. And I'll just gently peel off these pieces and hopefully nothing comes out with it. I might add a little glue to the top pieces here just so they don't fall off. Like that. And then I think this little sprig here needs just a little glue. And then this one in the front is looking a little random to me, so I'm going to snip this piece and then just kind of stick it in as if it was growing up the front. Maybe a little glue there. That's going to go on right about there. I think I still have room for my sentiment, which is wonderful because I was getting a little nervous. You know, maybe I will just ditch the whole bottom here. I think I'm going to get rid of this bottom part. Even though it's really pretty, I just am looking for more room for a sentiment to go. And I did not really anticipate this being so tall, but I am just going to cut the die and just modify just a little bit. I think I'm just gonna not use that part for now, and then I will have my sentiment going on the top still. So sorry about my squeaky chair. I just can't do anything about it. So going off the plan here. So I can't quite get my sentiment to fit on here anyway, and I don't want to lose any of my foliage up here because it's just really nice and full. So I am going to use one of Puffy sticker sentiments, and add it to my card. And I think I'm going to use the one that says, "Our friendship will always flourish." Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to put this on the top in the middle, and then I will put on my planter. To secure my planter on, I will just use some good old Barely Arts liquid glue. Why not, right? I guess I could use my double-sided tape, but this just seems to be a little quicker. And there we go. I'm not going to be too particular with gluing down all of these little foliage areas because I kind of want them to look more like a bush, like an actual plant here, and not really worry about gluing those down. So I'm just going to kind of press behind so the glue catches, but not too much so it can still move around. And that's one in the front, that light green one, is still bugging me, so I am just going to add a tiny one in the front to hopefully help out my issue with the green one. Here's a look at my finished card. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and if you're interested in seeing more videos from me or more ways that I use really any of the clubs, I am now receiving all of those. So if you're interested in a specific club, go ahead and just check out my channel. I would love to know in the comments what your thoughts are on the add-on die, this Happy Plant die, or any of your thoughts on the new club changes for 2023. So let me know in the comments, and I will hopefully try to respond to those as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!